Well, hello. Today we're going to be tying this jig here. It is what I'd like to call as like a minnow pattern, because when it's going through the water, all this shiny little Vivus UV body fuzz kind of slicks back and goes in with this and kind of gives it like a scale look of like a little fish or something. So we got olive marabou here is our tail section, and this is Vivus body fuzz in long. I think that's what the L stands for, not large but long. And that's pretty much it. We're going to use a little bit of olive thread, and then somewhere here I have a package of these 16th ounce jig heads that I buy in bulk, and they're pretty decent. You just got to make sure you hit the hook a little bit with a file or a hook sharpener before using them to make sure that they're extra sharp, because that's what you want, is you want a really sharp hook point. So to touch on a few other things when it comes to choosing the right color of marabou, there's so many colors to choose from: lights, darks, brights, even darker stuff. And this is all still falling in the color of olive. And it's just a complete rainbow of them. What we're going to be using is we're looking for a color very similar to that one. So we don't want the sculpin. We don't want this one because it just looks like moss. That one don't work for anything really, except for carp. And over here we have a nice brighter yellow one. That's a little too flashy for me. So we're going to stick with maybe this one. There's only one feather left in that package. Let's go with this one. We'll call it on that. Okay, so to get started tying this jig up, let's get this one out of the vise, and let's get a fresh head put in the vise, just like so. I like to smash the little piece down right there real quick, just so that way it's done and I don't have to worry about it messing me up with my laying of materials. I'm going to go ahead and start right here on the hook shank on this jig, instead of starting up on the lead. And I'm going to build a little transitional body to help me get up onto the lead whenever it comes time to add in that UV body fuzz. Let me get my scissors over here. There we go. Go ahead and find ourselves a decent looking feather. Usually looking for a one like this that's kind of long, kind of stringy, fuzzy. But what you want to always make sure to do is you want to take and cut the at least inch or 2 inches out of it on the end out here. Well, sooner or later here I'll stop twisting it. And the reason why you do that is because the marabou here, as it all comes back towards the tail section here, it'll be more of a tapered shape instead of it just being flat. So what we want to do is we want to bring that to about there. Probably should use only about half of that feather, but for demonstration purposes I'll use all of it. Now that we're tied in, we'll go ahead and trim that off just like so. I'll set it over there and reuse it for something else. And then we'll grab our UV flash. I don't really like my flies to be exactly, or jigs to be exactly perfect looking. I like them to kind of have a disheveled or beat up looking look to them. And I always try to wrap my material like this, the opposite direction of what my thread is. So one going clockwise, one going counterclockwise, always remembering to go the opposite direction. And keep your fibers pulled back, so that way you keep it with enough fuzz for a body there, you know what I mean? Twice over the top, a couple times underneath, once more over the top. Go ahead and cut that fuzz off. We'll grab our whip finisher, and then we'll just go ahead and get her whipped up. and that one will be done. Simple as can be. It's just a little minnow pattern. The reason why I tie it up in olive with this green body fuzz or UV body fuzz is because this pattern, most of the little fish that are in the river are darker green colors and have little bits of shininess up towards the front, but kind of like the head is and eyes and such. So this right here kind of really mimics a nice little itty bitty minnow. You just work it along the bottom, bumping it into stuff, and fish just love to attack them, especially brown trout. Well, thank you guys for watching, liking, and subscribing. Check out the rest of the video selection down there below.